Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you back to Portal Revolution, where we're in Chapter 4, The Diversion, and turrets may well be the order of the day. So let's try not to get shot. It didn't work out well for someone else, it seems. Definitely feels like shooting may have happened down here.
Whoa, wait a minute!
Yeah,
No
thanks,
wonder the
Sterling.
mortality rate of that chamber is so high. You can't even get past the first turret. Blind turn. Does that help?
What have you done? Oh, you've opened a thing. Yeah, that does help, actually. Thanks, Sterling. We're past the first
that
turret.
worked. Unfortunately, I don't think I can help any longer. Even though I've got access to all the subroutines, only certain functions are still working.
You sit over there, friend. Now, yeah, somewhere in this chapter, there's a achieve for not killing turrets. So we're going to do our best to get that achieve. Hello.
Hello. Are you still there?
Nah, we're not here. Come here. Lovely stuff. You can stand in the corner as well. We're just going to Blair Witch all these turrets. And hopefully that will be fine. There's one over there, though. Maybe we are going to have to knock that one over. Just because it looks like we might have to. It doesn't look as though we can just rush it. Let's try.
Deploying. Target lost.
Yeah, rushing it doesn't work. Who'd have thought it? Now, potentially we could rush the cube.
Who's there?
Aha! What you gonna do now, friend?
Friend.
Nearly
Searching.
kill me, is the answer.
Uh-oh.
But you can also stand in a corner where you can cause no bother to anyone. That corner.
Are you still there?
Sweet! No turrets were harmed in the making of this test chamber. Now what? Couple of turrets hanging about. We can't really just drop down there.
Target lost.
This episode might take a while just because of my attempts to not kill
You still there?
turrets.
Acquired. Target lost. Are you still?
Let's see. Maybe we are going to have to harm one on this level. Okay, yeah, I've just checked, and it's chamber 4-9 where the turrets are not allowed to be knocked over. So maybe we can afford a bit of murder and mayhem over here. But how do we still deal with that one?
Is anyone there? Searching.
I mean, I guess I could pop that there, and then we could just drop down. And now we're behind it.
Are you still there?
There is another one over there, though.
Activated.
So we're still not out of the woods.
Goodbye.
Is there anywhere up there where we can shoot?
Searching.
I can't see anywhere where we can get access to that one. We could get past it, probably. But then, does that put us in line with that one again? No, it doesn't. Good. So we can move her out the room without too much issue.
Activated.
Oops.
Are you still there?
I wanted to just drop down there. There's where I wanted to drop.
Would you come over here?
Cool. That's one more down. But then how do we deal with the other one? That is another way we could have got across there, is a quick fling. Are you... I'm not even sure if that one is standing on something. that can be
there?
portaled. Ah,
Good night.
there we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's there?
Good. Turret's out of the way. Now what? Now one cube friend. Now we want a floor portal, perhaps. Okay, it's not allowing us. That's fine. Because what I'm thinking is we're going to need to fling cube friend over there. So maybe we pop up there first. Although then we can't shoot the portal, can we? Up there. So where else can we get up high again? I mean, there's up there, of course. What if we come through and then we put a portal down here? Okay, we can't put a portal on that one. Right. But we can put portals on the floor down there. So it's just the spot where I tried before to put a portal that wasn't having it. But we can put them in general down here. So that's good. Okay, yeah, this should work. Good. Then that's open up an exit over there, which we could fling to from up there, probably. So we could pop through here. And then that's good enough. Excellent. Cool. Now what have we got? We've got a cube. That falls down onto that platform, yeah? So, what if we use the cubes to knock the turrets off? Is that going to work? No, it's going out too high. No, it's going out too low. Now it's going out to left. There we go, that's one down. Oh, wait a minute, could I have just put it up there? Yes. So we got there. That's the main thing. Now, what are you all about? Oh, there's more turrets. Okay. Couldn't see those turrets for obvious reasons. But now that I'm looking, I am seeing the red lines, so yeah, I should have been aware that there were turrets up there. Now, so that bit goes up there. How does that help? I guess now we do what we were doing before, where we fling them out of the side wall rather than on top. Yeah, good.
Stop shooting. Shooting down.
And then let's try that again. Ladle to the left. Okay. We've figured out the fundamental concepts of this room. Now it's just a case of executing. Jolly good. Now we need to get ourselves and a cube over there. Shouldn't be too hard. And now we can cube up this button. Lovely.
You know, the turrets do have feelings. There's no need to be so cruel to them.
I feel like there was kind of no choice in that room.
Only 2 more chambers to reach the spire.
Oh,
I think I told you that I need a human to activate it.
yeah, you
From
did.
what I heard, it's a pretty complicated cognitive test which only a smart human mind can pass.
Oh, that's
I don't know
good.
what that test is, but make sure to save some of that brain power for later.
I'm very smart, so that will be just fine. So, button make round thing go plop. Now, we can make some goop go where exactly? Do we need goop or is it about this thing? Cool, we can get ourselves a round cube. Oops. Should have let it get a little higher. Or possibly should have just taken away the blue portal. There we go. We've got a nice round ball. And that's going over there somewhere. So do we even need round ball at this moment in time? You stay there, friend. Now, where are you going, Glob? Straight onto a floor that cannot be portaled. So where can we portal? We can portal over there. Which means we can gather blue glob and we can move it to places. So we could move it through and then we could drop it and fling it over to there. And then if we could fling ourselves, that would allow us to get across there with our little round friend. But how would we go about that? If we could get up high in that and then shut it off, that would work. Because then we would drop down and we could fling ourselves through. But how would we go about that? Or maybe we just make some more blue nearby? Maybe. So let's have a think. So yeah, you come through. And when you're through, we'll now put one there. Is that going to work? I can certainly get some boing off that. So maybe that'll work. It's worth a try. Uppity hops, and then when I'm ready, whee! Okay, we didn't get enough distance. Whee! Okay, we got enough distance, but that didn't give us enough height. I mean, you could send Ballfriend over first, perhaps. Would that work? Oh,
Almost a perfect bullseye. That would have been fun.
that would have been fun. I agree. So that's part of the process dealt with, but we didn't get enough height to fling by ourselves. So is there another way for us to get more height? Or do we just need to wait a bit longer before we turn that on? So now that's a bit closer. Is that going to work? I feel like no. No. And I can't really get the blue. Or can I? What if I switch the portals over and yeah, let's switch the portals over quickly and get off so it doesn't fly as far. Cool. maybe that's good enough. Because then maybe we double bounce it. No. It's a bit tricky, so it's probably not the right solution. Okay, we need it a bit higher. So let's let it get a little higher up and then we'll send it back through. Is that better? That might be better. Just to test my theory at least. Nope. So that theory doesn't work. It works for our round friend, but not for us. Oh!
Oh, that was satisfying.
Yeah, it was. Oh, this is level 410, is it? Okay, so it was the previous level where we had to do the pacifist thing. I didn't realise this was 410 because it said 49 was the level where you got to do the pacifist thing. And yet it was like the third level we did on chapter 4, so... Huh. Oh well. Now, what else can we do? Alright, this is the only floor spot. Based on previous goes with the double bounce, it just doesn't give us enough momentum to get across. So we need to get up high and then drop so we can be flung, much like our ball was. But how do we do that? Because this is only on when we're stood on it. Unless we put round ball on it, perhaps. But then how do we get round ball off it other than just waiting for it to roll off of its own accord? And even if we did that, we would get flung across, but then we've left behind round ball, and there's nowhere over there where we could put a portal to then collect round ball. I guess we could just paint everywhere else with blue paint and see what works for us. Like, what if we did that? Does that help us in any way, shape or form? Guess I didn't even need to do that because I could just wait for blobs to come over and then just step off the button. So that would then allow us to jump up there. But then that doesn't really help because we could jump through here and get onto that. But then if we paint a bunch of blue everywhere else, maybe this does help after all. Because we can get the height that way, so then we just make a series of stepping stones, getting close to the solution. Because I just need extra height, right? So, I've got extra height here. Good. So now we put a blue there. And then we drop through there. There we go. Oh. Lovely. Yeah, we got there in the end. And that's the main thing. Now, what's up next? A broken door. But we've got a wall that we can portal. Can we see anything through here? Kinda? Yeah. And we're in.
Sky! Finally, we're back!
Hooray!
We're getting pretty close to our goal.
Good.
Don't die now.
I'll try not to. That would be distressing. Okay, yeah, we're in chamber 11 now. Now, we can fling. Flinging is always fun. Woo. What's going on up there? It's a lot of red lights. I don't like that. Now, where do you come out? Okay. And you're a blue cube. You're already bouncy. That's not ideal for our purposes because we can't put you down on that button. So we're going to need to wash you. How are we going to do that? I mean, we could send you through there to wash you, but then how are we going to grab you again? So we send you through. Yeah. Bless us. Send you through. Now, are you going to just keep going through? You are. Good. I'm glad I don't have to think too hard about this. Because if that had been tricky precision timing, that would have been awful. But just sending it in a loop allowed it to stay in place while I considered my next manoeuvre. We approve of this. Now, what's that done for us? That's opened the door, but how do we get to the door? We fling, but where do we fling from? How do we get anywhere? Let's rearrange that cube as well, because it's giving me anxiety being skew-if like that. So, can I just get back over there? And then can I see that fling point from here? Not exactly, but I could do a similar sort of job to what we've just done. So let's pop up top. And then we're going to want a blue there and an orange on the floor. And then we're going to want an orange there. Whee! This is fun. And then we're going to want to move a blue over to there. Cool. I enjoyed that.
It's always refreshing to see chambers where the goal is to clean up the gels.
Yeah.
Most of them encourage you to smear it all over the place, especially anywhere I can reach.
Cleaning is fun. Right, it's gone dark and moody. Chamber 12. 12 of 14 it says. Is that accurate? I mean, it was at one point.
We did it. We actually did it.
We reached the spire.
Not yet, but we will have done it soon. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
I'm admiring the view, Sterling. I think that's allowed. Let's drop down. This looks promising. Well, looks about as promising as a half-flooded basement area can do. And now what? Where are you at, my friend? Where am I at? There we go. Let's get a bit higher, have a look around. Back in the mechanical underbelly of the place.
Ah, of course. And so close to the finish line, another chamber.
Yeah, there is.
Well, I don't see any way to help you here. You'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Let's solve the puzzle. Main chamber power breaker. Okay. That seems like it should help. But then again, I might need to turn the power back on. That opens up the emancipation grid again, but it does allow the buttons to work. Cool, it's another new mechanic. And then that opens the door for us. Alright. But with the grids open, well, with the grids on, it kind of stymies our abilities to do much. There's nowhere else we can really see to fire portals about the gaff. From here, at least. What if we put a blue up there instead? That'll allow us to make some progress so we can get behind that grid. And there's a cube. So we can put that back on the button through there. So back we go, I guess. And then we turn off the power once more. Now. Maybe we go back through. Does that help us? Because we can't put a portal up there. No, because the power's off, so the door is closed. Can we just put a portal up there anyway? Yeah, we can. Okay. Good. And now we're through. But now we need the cube again. Perhaps. Probably. So we've got a blue in this room. That's good. So now we can afford to turn the power off again. And we can bring our cube through, because we no longer need that button to be turned on. Now. So cube is through. We need it on the button up there, but to get it on the button up there, we kind of want both our portals to be in that room, I guess. So let's turn the power back on and come through. Yeah, we don't need to be back through there right now, do we? So we could just do some of this. That should work. And then we just do a bit of the fling me do. Woo. Good. That one was fine. Now, what happens if we go out here? Anything worthwhile? This appears to be the right way. Fancy that.
Halfway there.
Oh, good.
Well, at least it's a good view. Life gets a bit claustrophobic down in the facility.
What do you know about claustrophobia? You're a small round robot. Wasn't sure if dropping down that hole was for the best, but then I thought,
This isn't the
okay.
last chamber. I'm going to assume you're doing this just to mess with me.
I'm doing this to mess with you. You're doing this to mess with me. Probably. Bud. Let's have a fling, see what happens. Good, we're up here. There's a cube spot. There's... Let's have a look. So can we get back? Over there. Cube Friend can join us over here. Okay. Where else can Cube Friend go? Because we can't see there. So obviously Cube Friend needs to go on the button. It needs to be flung up there, perhaps from there. But to get flung up from there, we need to have access to this button. So how do we have access to this button whilst having a portal where we need it? Which is there. Because we can't walk over to that either. But we can turn the power off. What does that do for us aside from the emancipation grid? I mean, it turns off the faith plate as well. So is it that helpful? It doesn't turn off the gel that kills us. The goop. I see no other way of getting to a Bhutan friend other than coming up here. I'm doing this again. So, we're up here. Now we could put the cube up there. And then we can turn the power off. But then how do we get up there so we can move the cube to where it needs to be? I guess we could go back through. Yeah, we could fire ourselves up there as well. But then, yeah, no good. Unless we then put an orange there. But then how do we get back over there? Because cube definitely needs to be through here. This cube does need to be fired up from there. But in order for that to happen, we would need to be back up top. But we can't get back up top. But then what's the power switch for if it's not to help the cube get to where it needs to be? I'm assuming at this point that the aerial faith plate is turned off. Let's just double check that before I make a fool of myself. Yeah, so the faith plate is turned off when we are powerless. And without it, we've got no way of bouncing up there. Is that correct? Is that a correct theory? Now, what if the cube gets destroyed? Will it also create another cube? I'm gonna say no. The cube is just only created on a button press. Let's just double check that one. Yeah, the cube doesn't automatically get replaced with a new one. So we are going to have to be up there to press the button to get cube. And then how do we get up there and have portals where we might need them? Because once we're up here, this is the only time we can push the button. And then that's just going to fling cubes. Does it have to fling cubes? Yeah, because we can't turn off the power from up here. And if we can't turn off the power, then any cubes that we create do have to hit the faith plate. There's no way around that. Otherwise we could just move the cube around manually. But we could do that anyway by flinging the cube up here and then taking it to wherever we want it to be. So let's get another cube with us. I mean, we should check to be 100% sure that we cannot walk over that thing. Because if we could, then we'd be fine, right? No, it instantly kills us. Right, so I don't think there's any way of us walking over to that point. And I don't think there's any hope of us pressing the button and then racing over there and being able to trigger that before anything works. Let's just see what happens again if we just destroy the cube. Yeah, not a lot. Right, so next plan, I think. Yeah, let's try grabbing the cube. I've got a new plan. And it's basically turn off the power, put the cube on the faith plate, set up my portals, and then turn the power back on. So, let's try that. Because yeah, the faith plate only works when the power is on. I feel like I'm onto something now. Yes. This is one of the few things we haven't yet tried. And it's worked, by golly. I am in fact a genius. So now we fling ourselves back up here, I think. Thankfully it landed right on the button for me. And then from here we need to fling ourselves into that, really. So yeah, I've biffed this bit, but that's fine because I've only biffed it a little bit. There we go. Unbiffed. Oh, that one was a tickler. My brain feels thoroughly probed by that one. Now what? Are we going to finally make it to the spire? And then push the button? And then reveal Sterling's diabolical plan? You do have a diabolical plan, don't you, Sterling? He's gone very quiet. What we got? We got a bunch of windows. Have I gone the right way? It's possible I haven't. There was another door down here somewhere. But it's not allowing me to come back this way now, so I must have gone the right way. Yeah, this has got to be the right way. Oh wait, there we go.
There she blows. This
Cool.
spire reaches from the bottommost parts of the facility all the way up to the surface. You certainly don't want to fall down that shaft. After you.
If we fall down that shaft, we'll probably have to do a whole bunch more puzzles to get back out, won't we? Now, where you at, my little round friend? We haven't seen you for quite some time. You've just been a voice in our heads. Is this door gonna work? Or is it more shenanigans? It's more shenanigans, isn't it? There we go. Aha, the control room. We've made it.
What a machine. Let's look for the input. Look for things that seem complicated.
I mean, what is this going to do, my friend? Turn on the whole facility again? And then if it does that, then what? I mean, I know we're your janitor friend now. This looks complicated.
Wait, that's it? You just need to press a button?
It's a big
That's
button.
kind of underwhelming. Whatever, it's powering up. You'll soon see what this beast is capable of. We need to run a series of checks. There should be a cube arriving near you any second. Please put that into the specimen chamber on the left.
On the left. Your left or my left? Well, it's not allowing us to put it in this one, so I presume you meant left, not right, left. There we go.
Okay, starting first test on an inanimate object. If all goes well, the cube will be teleported to the other chamber.
Cool.
Please work. Starting first jump. Now! It worked.
Hooray.
It actually worked.
Hello, cute friend.
Very good. See, while low-tech devices like your handheld portal device need to place physical portals to achieve teleportation, this little guy can instantly swap any 2 volumes of space in the whole universe. We design entire test chambers around not being able to shoot portals through walls, while this thing just bypasses our 3-dimensional plane.
That sounds incredibly
Anyway, let's
dangerous.
recycle that cube. Gotta clean up after ourselves.
Looks a bit deadly down there. I mean, we are a janitor, aren't we? I suppose we've got no real choice in the matter. There's nowhere else we can really put you. Other than back over here, maybe? Maybe the little grabber will come back down and take you back up? No? Okay, sorry, cube friend. In you go.
Hate to break it to you, but there is one more test we need to pass. First comes inanimate, then animate. Please enter the specimen chamber.
Hooray!
Alright.
This
Sorry,
can't
but
go wrong.
to start with the test, you'll have to temporarily resign as janitor.
What?
No worries, I'll rehire you after the test, but I need a registered test subject to continue.
This doesn't sound good.
We're almost there. Thank you for doing this for us. Well, time to put an end to the collapse. Let's rebuild the central core. Oh, right. You probably know her as GLaDOS. It's about time we bring her back, don't you think?
Yeah.
That monster spread her parts all over the facility, even the parking lot. No way in hell I could get her back together without this machine. Time to start the test. See you on the other side.
I'm not so sure about this test anymore.
That's not good. What are you doing in there?
I'm just
Get
chilling.
out of there! I can't turn it off!
Okay, we have travelled.
You're
Oh,
back.
no.
Thought I lost you. I can fix this. I know I can. Just give me a second.
Okay, we travelled again. This place looks a little bit better.
It actually worked. I almost fixed it. I'll try to get you out of this spaceship loop. Gotta be quick about
This
this
one'll be
before you
horrible.
leave again. Get ready.
Ah, okay, that's not so horrible. We're just on the cutting room floor. Portal gun, friend? Okay, our portal gun's broken. It does look as though we're still in Aperture, I feel. Sterling may have ruined everything. But yeah, this certainly feels like Aperture. What is going on here, though? Well, we'll find out, won't we? And we'll do that next time. Hate to leave you on a cliffhanger like this, but the whole 1 chapter per episode thing's been working out pretty well so far. So next time we'll find out where the hell we are, what the hell's going on, and then we will use our gigantic brains to solve some more problems. Until then, thanks for watching, friends.